Hey folks, today we're going to be talking about some of the extracurricular activities I did in high school. For those of you who are just joining the channel, my name is Nathan. I am an incoming freshman at Washington University in St. Louis, and I was also accepted at Northwestern University and a few other schools. So these are the 10 activities that I reported on my common application. You can report up to 10, and I used all 10 slots. That's not necessary. You shouldn't fabricate activities or fluff things up to fill all 10 slots. Colleges would honestly rather see you do 2 or 3 things and do them very well than do 10 things at a mediocre level. So the first activity on my list is Quiz Bowl. So Quiz Bowl was a 4-year activity for me. I did it all 4 years of high school. My freshman year, I answered 2 questions, and the end of my senior year, my team placed 12th in the nation at the Small School National Championship, and I was individually ranked number 32 in the nation out of 533 players at the National Championship tournament. So some drastic improvement there. Next on my list is Model United Nations, aka Model UN. I also did this all 4 years. I attended 9 conferences total in my high school career at Model UN. Of those conferences, I walked away with 7 awards, 5 of which were highest honors. Next thing is Student Council. I only did Student Council 2 years, junior and senior year. Junior year, I was elected class treasurer, and senior year, I was elected student body treasurer. So that was pretty fun. I'm glad I got involved with it when I did. I wish I'd done it earlier, honestly, although I'm not sure I could have won an election before that. But something colleges really like to see is that amongst your peers, you are held in high regard. And so being elected to a student office is a really great way to demonstrate that. Next activity on my list is band. I was in high school band all 4 years. I've actually been playing the trumpet since the 4th grade, so I just wrapped up my 9th year on that instrument. And the last 2 years in marching band, I served as the drum major. Next thing, and this is probably one of my more unique extracurriculars, I started an online resale business in the middle of my sophomore year, and I've maintained that up until now. That has been my primary and pretty much my only source of income, a few odd jobs withstanding. And it's been pretty cool. I've learned a lot about business, about entrepreneurship, customer service, that sort of thing. Next thing on my list is political involvement, which is woefully low on this list because at the point that I was applying to colleges, I had been sadly uninvolved with a whole lot of political stuff. At that point in time, I'd worked for 2 presidential campaigns. Between the 2 campaigns, I made several hundred phone calls and probably knocked on several hundred doors. I am intending to study political science at WashU, so I intend to get involved with that a whole lot more down the road. So that was just sort of the launching point. I do wish I had more political involvement prior to applying, especially as a political science major. It probably would have made more sense to put a lot of my time into that sort of... I attended the Boy State program in my state. I think all 50 states have Boy State and Girl State programs now, if not most do. For those unfamiliar, it's a program run by the American Legion that's basically a week-long simulation of state, county, and city government. I ran for Senate and I lost by 4 votes. So I went to work as a clerk in the House of Representatives. Next thing is something I had only gotten into a little bit when I was applying to school, so I don't think it had much any effect on my applications, but I serve as the treasurer of my city's youth commission. Our job is basically to represent the youth voice in city government. I actually got the chance to go on local TV and on a radio station, which was super cool, and talk about a job fair we held, so that sort of thing. If there are opportunities like that available in your city, I would highly encourage you to pursue them. The largest volunteering commitment I had outside of the things I've already listed was working for a refugee resettlement organization here in my city, and that was just over the last summer, and I was teaching English to some of the younger kids. The last significant thing I listed on my application was that I filmed girls' basketball games at my school for 6 years. There's a section on the Common App at the very end where you can list anything that you weren't able to mention anywhere else in the Common App. I took full advantage of this and I listed a couple of very minor things. The most notable of those is that my school every 2 years does this thing where we don't have classes for a week and kids go out and do activities in the school or in the community that aren't like traditional learning experiences. So most of the juniors and seniors opt to go abroad, but going abroad for 1 week is very expensive. And I had a lot of interest in running a group here for some of the underclassmen, and so that's exactly what I did. I had a group, and we basically went around the city my goal was to like burst the bubble that exists in my community between my community and the rest of the city. So that's it for extracurriculars. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, I'd really appreciate you leaving a like down below. And that's what I got. Thanks.